This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans, welcome to a Saturday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr with you. We decided to take the night off last night, rainy Friday evening when we got a few things in, but they were all coming in late and chaotic, and we decided to take the night off and punt to tonight when we'd have a lot more to talk about. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. Really busy day for the USCB Sand Sharks. Tough efforts on the road in the season finales for basketball, but they both come up short, so season ends there. But a wild day out at the Shark Park. Not great for baseball, but great for softball. You and Max Arraj were on the call, and hopefully Max will be able to join us a little bit later on. But we do have one of the stars of the show, who we'll be talking to in a little bit, Alyssa Rose, former Bluffton Bobcat standout, now a USCB Sand Shark, and took one for the team to get the dub today. We'll talk with her in a bit, but great day out at the Shark Park, Wes, and just a great day to look at the schedule on Saturday and see so much going on. And I was tracking down track and field results this afternoon, like just all kinds of stuff happening, just getting me excited for spring season.
Yeah, spring is definitely sprung now across the Loco. Certainly, we should be a bit warmer. We've had a couple of cold days weather-wise.
Pretty
but
nice today.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But I'll tell you what, a classic softball game. We got to witness 11-10, and my God, back and forth all the way between USCB and Lander, trading leads the entire day. And then you look at the seventh inning. We talked after the game, on the ride home about what was really the turning point for the Sand Sharks when Sierra Kinlaw came back in and really got back to what she does well and made some quick outs. That 1-2-3 or quick inning, the seventh, setting down that lineup in a short order. That I agree with you. I think that's really where they won the game today, and were able to just execute an offense and produce a run. And Alyssa Rose finished it off with the walk-off hit batsman, hit by pitch to finish it and give the Sand Sharks the win. But that's just great to see. Really cool to for a Lowco, and we'll talk to her in just a few moments. But just awesome to see a former Lowco standout that we got to see play right here, and now she's producing and just won a ball game today with finish it off for USCB. So really, really cool, and great to see some of these local stars that we talked a lot about. Patterson over on the baseball side, he's done, and really cool to see his prowess out there. And now Alyssa Rose, someone who we really got to cover in depth over at Bluffton, now shine for the Sand Sharks. So awesome to see, and just what an incredible ball game over on the softball side today. Addie Reynolds, 4 RBIs, homer and a double. Devin Weller also with a moonshot, a home run over the center field fence. So they were raking today. And Tamaya Whitlock and Surya Simmons also producing the bottom of the lineup. So a really excellent day offensively, and some clutch pitching at the end by Sierra.
Yeah, and let's get the game-winning RBI girl in here, Alyssa Rose, joining us on the show. What's going on, Liz?
Nothing much. Just came back from dinner after that game. So
yeah. Heck of a game today. It was a wild one. Your dad is always keeping us posted with the live tweets.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got it on lockdown, but he caught me by surprise because I left the house to head out there. You guys were up 7-4, and then I see him tweet that they're up 8-7. I'm like, holy goodness, what's going on? Yeah. And then I got there and the lead changed numerous times. But you got your opportunity. You got up there with bases were loaded, correct? Bases are loaded. Chance to walk it off. All you got to do is get that run home. And I'm sure you had other plans about how it was going to go down other than getting hit by a pitch, but you'll take it any way you can get it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just any way to get that run across.
And I was late on the video. I was just getting set up to take video, and you got hit by the pitch, so all I got was Selly. But,
yeah. You can see the confusion of trying to figure out, because I heard people say go to first, because I was so confused about what was going on.
They wanted you to go touch first because I think the game's not officially over until you touch first, but it's a dead ball situation. So they were acting like they were going to throw down there and get you out, which I don't think was ever in play. So
obviously. You got that free base to end the ball game. But just describe the experience of being a part of this wild game to start off the series and how big a win this is in Peach Belt play to be a really good playing team today.
Yes. Oh yeah. It was we just came back from North Georgia, which obviously they're the #1 seed in the nation, and they just won a championship title last year. So I guess coming off of like that competition and how we gritted that out and really fought to stay in those competitions really set us up for success for this series that we have coming up, just because we know we can hang with anybody. And even though there's been talks about like where we stand in the Peach Belt, I just think we have ourselves and we play for each other. And I think we can hit with anyone in this Peach Belt, and we can really have good things going once we're all firing on all cylinders and once we get like defense and offense working at the same time.
You mentioned the hitting. I mean, you guys have been slugging it early in the season, and I mean that's always been a big part of your game. You were the big bat in the middle of the lineup at Bluffton, but talk to me a little bit about the offensive philosophy and just what you feel like has helped lead to this quick start at the plate for the across the entire team. I know hitting's contagious, but like something happened in the preseason that got you guys ready to be swinging it the way you are early.
I think in the preseason, we did a lot of inter squad scrimmages. And I think one big thing we noticed, or like we learned in those scrimmages and even in our fall scrimmages, was just really like taking your pitch. Like if she gives it to you first pitch, just take it, because the other pitches they're going to try and like chase you and swing at her good pitches, which are your bad pitches. So I guess really just utilizing and honing in on taking that first pitch that is there for you really helps out a lot, just because you don't want to give her opportunities to throw a changeup or throw like her best screwball or her best rise ball.
Yeah.
Your pitch is there. Go out and take it. Be patient when the time comes, but certainly got to have that aggressive approach, and that's something that Coach Yeski has really stressed you in this team. So what's it been like to be coached by her, and how has she impressed you just as a coach, and how has that impacted your growth as a player?
Oh, it's been amazing. Those are like the best coaches I could have ever asked for to be at a collegiate level. They truly care for you as not only just a player, but they also care for you on like the athletic side, and as like just like a human. They don't really see you as just a softball player, which is nice. But even just their experiences from where they've played, what they've coached and all that stuff, just like they're bringing in such good philosophies and just really good, hardworking stuff that like it motivates you to want to play for them. Like you want to play good for them just because they're just such amazing people.
That's awesome. Love it when you find your place, I mean, it's such a journey as a student athlete trying to find that place where you fit. And I love it when we hear back from you guys that you feel like you're there. I want you to take me through a little bit the mindset, and because we try to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit for kids who are coming behind you guys and stuff, but you only had one at bat going into, or two at bats going into today. And then you're pressed into action, and it's a big spot. And it's like everything you've ever been told is coming true, right? Like trust the process. It's going to happen for you. You're going to get a chance. Stay ready. Take me through, kind of your mindset in that moment when you're going up to bat, bases are loaded, you got a chance to win the game.
So coach told me the beginning of the 6th inning, I think it was, that I would be going in to play second base for the next defense time we go in. And then the next time we hit, I would obviously be hitting for our previous second baseman, Jaden. And at first I was like, you get that like, oh, coach is putting me in. And then you get like that sudden like nervousness of like, oh my God, what if I mess up? Because like I'm going into the 6th inning, like the game's already going. But I had a teammate behind me, Tamaya, and she was like, she immediately was just like, Alyssa, what? It's nothing. She was like, you're like made for this moment. And I was like, you're right. I was like, there's no need to stress out. I've been playing softball for like 10, 11 years now. It would just be like fielding a ground ball, which I've done before, and hitting off of pitchers, which I've done before. So it was really nice to have like teammates constantly like refreshing me and being like, hey, it's okay. Deep breath. Like you're made for this. It'll be fine. So there was like that initial nervousness, but then I was like, I got it. Like I can do this.
Yep. Just do what you've been doing your whole life.
Got the job done. which is, awesome to see. First time pressing the big moment, and you do the job. So awesome job on that. But you mentioned your teammates and the encouragement, which is great to see. But from what I've been hearing and seeing from this group, it's a really tight knit family, and I think the growth and just the excitement and buy-in between all these players has been really evident. So just talk about the relationship that you've developed with your teammates and how you guys have really been clicking as a unit so far this year.
No, it's been amazing. We really focused a lot during the fall to have team bond and to have that unity, because that realistically helps you win ball games when you know that you're playing for the person behind you and that person has your back. And during the fall, we even had a leadership retreat kind of there where we had a specialized person who helps with leadership in teams. She came to 3 of our practices and really helped us figure out the kinks and figure out what we needed to work on and what we can fix to help provide us and prepare us for the spring, which I think helped a lot. And it's just we're just one big family. That's our biggest thing that we try and emphasize, is playing for the person next to you and just knowing you have their back.
Good stuff. How are you keeping tabs on your Bluffton girls at all? They're just now getting started, but how are they going to look this year?
I've been keeping
a lot of big shoes to fill over there.
Yeah. I've been keeping tabs with Reagan. She said it's not the prettiest, but it's when you lose a lot of people and a lot of core people on your team, that's really hard to rebuild. So I think it'll just be a big rebuilding and regrouping process for Bluffton, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, work in progress. I think Coach Rachel's excellent. She's going to build a good program there.
Yeah, they're in great hands with her.
That's great to hear. I just look back to an interview that we did with you last year. You and your college-bound teammates talking about the process and just about what it takes to play at the college level. I just reminisce on that and how special that was to really be that leader and that mentor at the high school level as you moved on to this new area. Or I mean, not really new area because it's just so close to you, but I mean, just reflect on that that moment for you, becoming that leader and then transitioning to this new level.
Yeah. During my high school years, I didn't really see myself as a leader for the first 2 years. Obviously, my freshman year got cut in half because of COVID. But coming in, I still didn't really see myself as a leader just because I wasn't the loudest. And even now, I still am not the loudest person on the team. But the biggest thing I can contribute is I guess my own small talk and the ways that I can contribute is okay, I can make, for Bluffton, for example, I could make really good pitches and that's how I contribute, or I could have good at bats at Bluffton and that's what I contributed. And even now the transition is definitely, because obviously the last 2 years at Bluffton I was a big leader there, but now coming in, there's girls who have been here before me at this collegiate level and I'm learning from them now. I'm being mentored by them to prepare me to be a better player in the next couple of years for USCB.
Yeah, the cycle begins anew. You get to go back to kind of being the student, and but I have a feeling that the cycle will complete for you at the end at some point, and you're going to go into coaching. Am I right?
I mean, I am in school to be a high school teacher, so hopefully we can get a coaching job.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen for you if that's what you want to do. But you definitely seem to have that spirit about you. You helped me coach a little bit one season in rec ball when you had time, and obviously your dad coached you at Bluffton High School. So is that something that you aspire to? And now that I know you're studying education, it makes even more sense. But coaching is in your future, you think?
Yeah, I did. That was another thing that I wanted to realize I wanted to continue, is because obviously I love this sport so much, and obviously women's professional is really hard to be, especially with softball and especially being at a D2 level. But even now, I just still want to continue contributing to the game that I love, and that's one of the reasons I loved that I stayed local, because I feel like I can contribute to girls down here who maybe are just like me or from the Bluffton area.
Well, you guys are right back at tomorrow, the doubleheader to finish off the series against Lander. Obviously, getting this first one the way you did was huge. But now that you've gotten back in the win column, how do you guys continue to keep this momentum rolling and look to win this series tomorrow? Finish off the weekend strong.
Yeah, I think we're using a big reset today because obviously we can't continue. You can go in with the same confidence, but you can't be too overly confident because obviously the humble pie will come really quick if you're going in with the same energy. But I think just going in with same confidence that we had today, figuring out some defense mistakes or miscues that went on today, and then obviously just keeping our bats firing will be like the biggest thing going into these next two games.
Can't win them all if you don't win the first one. And you guys got it done today, which was huge. Set you up well for the doubleheader tomorrow. So, I guess any parting thoughts for Alyssa before we let her go, Wes?
Yeah, just really cool to continue to watch you in this area. I mean, special to have a kid that these young ladies at the high school level can look up to and say that, look, she's doing this thing at USCB and continuing to play here and continuing to set an example here. So maybe just some advice to those playing at high school now about the college process and how fun it's been to continue your career right here in the Low Country.
I'd say hard work is going to be the biggest thing. Just being able to work hard, and then also understanding that this is a game of failure and you are going to have moments where you fail, but it's about how you recover and how you recoup after those moments. And that helps. I think that helps you become a better player in the end. And like you gain more from failure than you do from winning.
Yep. That's the nut of it. I mean, when you can learn to embrace failure and as an opportunity to get better, and then use it as that. I mean, that's the key to everything right there. No matter where you top out, you'll always keep getting better every time you come up short. And if you're not failing, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. So
exactly.
Well said, kid. We are proud of you, and hopefully the first of many times that we have to bring you on as the star of a big win for the Sand Sharks. So we'll see you out there tomorrow, and hopefully you guys can get 2 more dubs.
Yes. Fins up.
Fins up.
Fins up. Take care, Alyssa Rose. What a sweetheart. We've covered her for a long time. And like I said, she helped me coach one season. That was really fun. Gotten to know her really well. And you and I were both pretty excited when she came up to bat in that situation.
Yeah, as I said, I was hoping it would be like she still picked up the walk-off RBI, but I was hoping it would be like a base hit.
It was just kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, the script was there for it to be kind of cool for myself and for you to see. It's a key win. Like this was certainly it hurt to lose the last one. It hurt to lose really the series in general, the 3-game sweep that they had. But I mean, it's North Georgia. It's the #1 team, so there's a lot positive to take out of it. And then the thing was, could you come back home and put together a similar effort against a good Lander team? And they passed a tough test today. And, you got to give credit to everybody in that lineup, especially those 8 and 9 hitters, of what they did early and then what they did to help set up the game-winning rally in the 7th inning. And then, I mean, you go back to Sierra Kinlaw and how poised she was those last few outs. And then the defense. I thought Darren Miller had a great game. And then Tamaya Whitlock defensively made a great diving catch early. And, it was important for Sierra to really establish her game. She got out of it a little bit, but there were a couple of mistakes defensively as well that kind of were a factor in how Lander was able to pick up a couple runs. And it just became a slugfest at that point. Both teams were getting hot with the bats and really fun. So to see what happens tomorrow. Obviously in softball, it's likely that you see some of the same pitchers again because just you don't have to worry in terms of much time for recovery in that sense. But right. Sierra Kinlaw certainly had to work hard in this one. So we'll see what USCB and Cody Yeski do in terms of their staff going forward. But I think Lander still has their best pitchers saved in terms of Pattison, I think she's their ace, and I think they used her today. So definitely going to be, continues to be tough as the series goes along. So excited to see how they build on this coming up tomorrow with 2 over at the Shark Park.
Yeah, it should be good. By the way, you and Max sounded fantastic on the call. I watched the first few innings on the Sand Shark Game Day Network and then made it over to the ballpark. You guys sounded terrific. Great to hear you. I don't know why Bracken's calling me. I'm live. Should tell him to get in here. But no, big win for USCB softball today. And like you said, you don't want to go to 0-4. That's the thing. Like, you feel like you played well enough to not be 0-3 at North Georgia, and then you don't want to give one away today when you had a chance to win. And it was a wild game. I mean, back and forth. Really fun game. The guys' game, the baseball game, not so much. 25-1.
Yeah, that's not a memorable one over there for the guys, but that's a really good Georgia Southwestern
Well, it might
team.
be memorable, but not for the right reasons.
But
let's shout out some sponsors, and then we'll shift gears a little bit. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. She's with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry, the new Anchor Home Group. She would love to help you find your place in the Loco and put down an anchor in the best place. So if you're looking to move to the Lowcountry, come on with Megan Jarrett, official realtor of LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is the official home inspector of LowcoSports. John Lucas and his team will make sure that every detail is checked before you make a purchase and get you into the right home. Homegrown Home Inspections. Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports, and our original sponsor since 2017. We love Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickelson team, and they do so much for our community. They're our presenting sponsors of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And again, our original sponsors, thanks to Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, official hospice care provider of LowcoSports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. And they do offer free grief counseling, something that we really want to point out, because certainly, we've had some tragedy in our community recently, and especially for the young folks who are going through grief and trying to struggle with those things. It's something to keep in mind that Hospice Care of the Lowcountry offers free grief counseling, because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. So those are our MVP sponsors, Wes. And let's talk a little more about some of the stuff that's gone down over the last couple of days. Where do you want to dive in? We got a lot of ways we could go with it.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little. Where do you want to go first?
Yeah, I was just looking and seeing what was going on in terms of Friday, because obviously it was a rain out, but we still had a lot of soccer action.
Good bit of soccer. Good bit.
Yeah. Including the Bluffton boys getting another nice win, 3-1 over Aiken. So Josh Fox and that team has been on it to start the year. I did not expect to see them crush Beaufort the way they did. Obviously, the Eagles have a lot of rebuilding to do after losing a couple guys from that state championship finalist team a year ago, but really am proud of what that Bluffton squad is doing. They've got some electric strikers on that team. Hilton Head and Irmo 1-1. Catawba Ridge beats May River. And
then interestingly, we had some run-on backs where May River beat Irmo today 3-2, and Bluffton beat Catawba Ridge 2-1 in overtime. So that's another win for the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're all. That's a pretty strong group of teams they've had to go up against. So, yeah, Josh Fox, we talked about the way he coaches, and those guys, they know how to bind under him. So, I think they're doing things really well over there at Bluffton and May River as well. Good bounce back. They've been busy. Misa's been really amping up that schedule early on to build this team, and it's important. See what you got against some solid teams. So. We
tried to get Misa on tonight, but he couldn't get back in time. They played this afternoon, so he's had a busy day. And then the Whale Branch Warrior Invitational wrapped up tonight. I don't know all the results from today, but I do know Bridges Prep beat Battery Creek 2-1 in the girls' championship, and Beaufort, which jumped in to fill the hole when Ridgeland Hardyville slipped out, wins the boys title 3-1 over Battery Creek. So congrats to the Bucks and the Eagles for their tournament titles over there. That's a cool event. I hate that it got decimated first by they had to mess with the schedule, and then the rain really messed them up. But they got it all in, which is, a credit to them. But I like that they're trying to create an environment, at least where a bunch of local teams, especially the smaller schools, more rural schools, can play a preseason tournament and get some reps in, just get a bunch of games in without having to travel forever or get into matchups that are silly.
You play some good teams, and you have to go X amount of hours to Columbia or one of the other big name tournaments across state or even out of state. That's a win, and just doing it from home. You don't have to travel. It's just easier for everyone, and you're still going against some quality squads. So it's a win-win situation for everyone when we have those recent tournaments. And there's nothing that we see it like with the Baby Shark Invitational Wrestling and for some of the holiday basketball tournaments. Like how important was that for Colleton County or for Hampton County rather, the boys who ended up using that as momentum and fuel, and then they ran the table before the playoffs. So you can talk about how important tournament play is, just going against those quality teams, especially when you're able to track some teams and you bring them here, which is always nice to see. But they've been working those soccer squads hard these first few weeks. Then before you know it, we're diving right into region play. As we say, it's boom, boom, boom for some of these sports here. You're suddenly right in the mix of a region schedule. So gotta find a way to get something out of these, and then it's full throttle the rest of the way.
Happens fast. Here's a cool story for you. Hilton Head Christian Academy boys lacrosse gets the first dub and the second dub. They beat Trinity Collegiate twice. They won 15-1 last night, and then they ran it back today, and they beat Trinity Collegiate 14-4. So, I mean, we don't know what they really have as far as the program goes yet, because it's first year. They played 3 games, but that's a good sign that they're better than somebody who's in one of their peers. So hopefully they can get that thing going.
So
I mean, it kind of fits the culture of the school, right? I mean, it's like it's the right demographic. Football players tend to make good lacrosse players. Baseball players, I guess baseball players do too. But if you don't make the baseball team, lacrosse is a really attractive option. So it's just another offering on your campus that
I think
also differentiates you from the other private schools.
Yeah, and you have like high school league teams. You see a lot of lacrosse squads. So to have that at a renowned SCISA school, has a history of constructing state championship teams, led by that football program, of course, girls basketball, but that's something that really further legitimizes a school when you have some more options for spring sports, because there's sometimes you have guys who are not as interested in baseball, but you still want to be active and compete in the spring. And lacrosse, all the skill sets you develop, they go hand in hand sometimes with other activities that you do in other sports like football and basketball. So that's important to establish the lacrosse team and to find the instant success. Against teams you're going up against, because it's never easy in that first year program. And kind of like what USCB did in basketball. They hit the ground running and got a couple wins, and you feel good about yourself, and then use that to compete hard against the rest. So for a first-year program, what a way to start it for that guys team. And I'm excited. It's really cool to see some SCISA squads getting into lacrosse here. I'm not sure in terms of how that works with the whole classification, because
who knows?
I'm sure there aren't as many schools that offer the sport. So
there's got to be a few in the upstate, you would think. So there may be even a SCISA championship. We've just never been concerned with it because we've never had a SCISA team offer the sport. So I would guess there is one. I know like Heathwood and Hammond, the Columbia schools and Greenville schools have to offer it. It's a big sport up there. And Trinity obviously does. I would think maybe Porter-Gaud, Pinewood. I think we've seen Pinewood on people's schedule before. So there's quite a few of them. I don't know if they have their own championship or not. I guess we'll find out soon enough. And then another thing that I think is great, talking about local tournaments and things like that, Woodland has kind of become like ground zero for track in the Low Country. And they have a great facility there, and it's created a great environment where our teams can go compete against top athletes from around the state. And they had a huge event today, the Low Country Invitational at the Wood, and pretty good showing overall, I would say, from the Lowco. There's a ton of teams there, but on the boys' side, Hilton Head and Beaufort both tied for 5th. They were like 25 teams. May River was 8th. Hampton was 12th. Bluffton 14th. Couple of champs. Hilton Head's Zach Sellers won the 400 meters. Really good time, 49:43. And Noah Wasserman from May River won the guys 3,200.
Oh, look at Kayvon Chisholm in the shot put.
Yeah, Kayvon second in the shot. Jackson Wright second in the 1,600 for May River. Edward Green second in the 400 for Beaufort, and Earlon Baker second in the 800.
I love how Kayvon's competing in track and field every year. One last sporting opportunity for him, and just a built athlete. He's a dude, and whatever sport, whatever discipline you put him in, he's gonna succeed. He just has that kind of mold about him. So
no doubt.
I hope that he'll be able to continue to be a stud out there track and field wise, and to finish off his career strong.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously he had a nice showing in the shot, but yeah, he's built for the shot put for sure. On the girls' side, Beaufort was 9th, Hampton tied for 10th. Good showing for them. Hilton Head 14th, May River 16th, Bluffton 19th. No champs on the girls' side. That's not true. Isolt and Tia won something, I thought.
She was second in the 1,600.
Yeah, but I thought she won something too. I think I might have accidentally left that off. Yeah, she did. She won the 800, 2:28.75, and was second in the 1,600. So she had a phenomenal day, which she is prone to do. She and her sister both have had terrific careers there. And Beaufort always has a really solid team on both sides. Girls are looking really good based on today's results, I would say, with Isolt winning the 800 and second in the 16. Kamorley Milton was second in the shot put. And then they were pretty solid in the relays too. So good. I'm starting to compile just like a performance list for us so we can keep track and keep tabs on who the best in the Lowco are this year and give these track stars a little more love.
Yeah, they deserve a lot more credit. Obviously, it's a lot, these spring sports, so much to cover, but it's one of the hardest disciplines of pure athletics when you look at track and field, and these runners, these field athletes, they put in as much work, if not more, than anybody. And it's definitely a grind, especially when you have to compete in multiple events in the same day, and you have to really eat right. You have to, stay, motivated and have to wait out sometimes. You got to stay focused, and that can be challenging. So certainly give a lot of props to these track and field athletes. And yeah, the Isolt, Charlize, and Tia, what a sibling duo that they've been over at Beaufort, just churning out top finishes in both cross country and now track in the spring. But that Beaufort squad, so much depth. Kamorley Milton on the girls' side, the shot put. You look over to Alexandria Terrell for the Eagles, among others. So what a great storied program with so much rich history that just continues to excel in these kinds of meets. So Isolde and Tia really the star, but there's been other Beaufort athletes continuing to answer that kind of challenge. So and then this more Hampton County,
Yeah.
You look at Choppa, you look at 100 hurdles, and they got a ton of tremendous kids over there. And if the shine has been a lot on the guys this year with football and basketball, but that girls basketball team had a great run. Other girls sports around here that have done big things in their disciplines. So just love to see everything that's been going on in Hampton County surrounding that this year and all the success. And just cool, so cool to see Estill and Wade Hampton, where they've had good track programs over there too over the years, and now just becoming 1 2A has made them even tougher to go up against. So
yeah,
they've got their fair share plus a lot more of exceptional athletes, and blessed to be able to watch them in the Whale Branch. That's another traditionally strong girls track and field program, and they had a couple top 10 finishes.
They hang banners over there.
Yeah, that's a legit.
It's a really good program. But yeah, we definitely got to shine a little bit more light on those track and field stars this year. I want to try to stay on top of that. I'm not in the travel baseball business until summer this year, so that helped me a little bit with being able to breathe on the weekends. That's definitely helpful. We're at the middle school age now. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports help make this possible. DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. If you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS Web Design at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they are on board with us to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes. So please call on Parker Law Group for your legal needs. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, our wrestling podcast. We appreciate their support, and if you want to take your game to the next level on the mat, you got to go to Reverence Wrestling Club. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he will get you feeling better mind, body, and spirit. Dr. Ambrose Cole took my wife to Dr. Ambrose yesterday. She was scared to go. She'd never been to a chiropractor. Changed her tune. She loves Dr. Ambrose. He got her feeling good. Her neck was bothering her, and now she's all better. So think we converted her. Dr. Ambrose Cole over at Rooted Living Wellness, varsity sponsors of LowcoSports. A little high school baseball starting to get rolling. The games are like sort of count. I'm never sure about that because the date for countable games hasn't happened.
Well, I think it's different.
But tournament games, I guess they still count. Skeeza's been playing them, right, obviously. JP2 got a couple dubs today. They're 3-0. Beat St. Andrews 8-1 and 4-2. Ross Putnam, good outing in the first game, 3 2/3, gave up 1 earned. A little wild, hit 3 guys, but effectively wild. Archer Dayweg came in and shut it down. Hits were spread out all over, but Aiden Kolstad had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And then game 2, 4-2, Garrett Heathcott went 3, pretty effective. And then Casey Rizzo and Logan Cotter came in and shut it down out of the pen. Again, hits kind of spread out. Talon Putnam with the hit. I can't. I texted Galitz the other day and I told him I can't help it. I have this thing that I always quote all year long. When I look at your box score, I'm going to quote Napoleon Dynamite. And he's like, wait, don't tell me. And so I didn't, but it's this one right here. Do the chickens have large talons? He was able to guess it. But anyway, I just had to play that clip. I made that clip just for the purpose of talking about Talon Putnam. And then up at the Sandlapper shootout, Buford had a really good day. They beat Burns 5-4, rallied in the last inning. Hudson Mullen with a 2-run single to tie it, and then Dylan Rast scampered home on a wild pitch to win it 5-4, and then they beat Pendleton 9-2. May River played phenomenally Thursday night against Rock Hill. They ran into a buzzsaw today against Burns. Had a kid, I'm told, throwing 88, and got snowballed on them, and they lost 14-1. But they used the opportunity to get a bunch of guys in the game. Since they only ended up getting 2 games instead of 4. They wanted to get some guys in there. So throw that one out, move on to the next one from May River. But I think both those teams, Buford, May River, I think Hilton Head Christian is going to be good. I never count out Hilton Head Prep. I think those are kind of the top ones to watch in the area. And then, of course, Patrick Henry, defending state champ. They got some holes to fill, but I think they're going to be right there again. So those are the teams I'd be looking
brothers
around for the
playoffs. There's always a chance when you got them in the lineup. Two strong competitors always, and I think the opportunity that presents some of these other guys from stepping in. I think you have that motivation. Like, they got it done. Can you do the same? And I think that winning culture is really going to stay. And it's a special program. We saw it in football. Unfortunately, come up short in basketball, but these guys are going to get after it. You can never count these Patriots out, and I cannot wait to get back on the farm again. That's a really cool, one of my favorite venues of all of high school sports. It just has that magical feeling, and certainly it was over the playoffs last year, and hopefully it'll be that way again. So sooner rather than later, we'll definitely have to find a way to make a trip and grab some pulled pork sandwiches and enjoy a game at the farm. So that's
Heck yeah. I texted Coach the other night and I said, I assume there's no baseball at the farm tonight, Friday night, and he said, no, sir. The farm getting some much needed water for the crops.
Yeah.
Because they do. They got the crops are growing right there next to the football field and behind the baseball field. It's truly a farm. It transforms on game night. I'll tell you that. There's people come out of the woodwork to go to the Patrick Henry games.
It really is that.
You didn't know that many people lived in Hampton County. Between the high school and Patrick Henry on Friday night, if they're both at home, you really wouldn't know that many people lived in Hampton County just driving around during the day.
Yeah.
Come from all over, but it's good times. But yeah, I'm excited for baseball season. I've started compiling kind of a list of guys I'm excited to see. They're mostly concentrated around those top programs, but Tyson Brasington's already off to a great start at May River. Logan Brutcher is kind of leading the charge at Beaufort. He and Hudson Mullen. I think that's going to be a really good team. Brad Larson, I love his bat at Head. Nico Martucci is a bat I love at Bluffton. Of course, the Bird brothers at Hilton Head Christian, Slade and Steele are both tough outs. And then you got some really good arms in there. Oh, and Cody Bratt, of course, you can't keep him off base. And he swipes them all. And then you got some really good arms, too. Miles Fry at Bluffton is terrific. Blaine Gregory's coming off a good year at Hilton Head, and they've also got Connor Wendell. Brasington has been great at May River. Martucci at Bluffton, and then Malcolm Webb at Beaufort. Some of the guys that I'm most excited to see. But I'm also excited because every time I check a box score, I see some kids that I'm like, oh, that kid's in high school now. They grow up fast, kids I've watched growing up through the rec leagues and through travel ball. And now they're getting a chance.
It's just cool, just to see we have involved a couple of youth tournaments around the years, and I just see some more names that I remember, seeing playing Dixie Youth baseball and just youth travel baseball, and now they're turning up. I was like, where's the time gone? Now they're another high school kid. It's crazy, but yeah, it goes by fast for sure. I know you've talked about that. You've been here so long that you've seen some former students become leaders in the community and adults. So it's
coaches and I've coached their kids or I've covered their kids. You stick around long enough, it all comes back around. And we talked a lot with that with the folks out in Hampton too. That this generation of kids who are doing big things right now in Hampton, a lot of their parents are the ones who were doing big things, a generation ago. And so they've all been excited because it's like, all of our kids are coming up together, and it's like we get another shot.
It's so special when the Hampton County, community rallied around football and they rallied around basketball. Like we weren't able to finish the job, and now can these kids find a way to do it and go further than we have and continue to keep the tradition going. And that's what we love about it. You see the next generation looking to write a new script and to become a new group of heroes. And you can certainly say that those kids, even though they didn't go all the way, they definitely were in that process. So I love that. I love the Hampton community, everything about that. It's been an amazing, story to be a part of, and it's going to continue. Year one was great. I feel that year 2, year 3 is going to be as better or close to, if not, you never know. You got some teams, Oceanside's only going to be there, Gray's only going to be there. It's going to be these 2A teams. So I'm excited for that.
They got more people coming, man.
Yeah.
JV is incredible this year. Jalen Singletary is the one I'm most excited about, his potential. He's got next level potential if he stays on track track.
But by the way, I may have mentioned earlier, but our good friend Gavin Blocker tuned in today.
I did see that while Alyssa was talking. Yeah, Gavin Blocker checking in. So
great to see that. He was one of my favorite guys to cover. Such a humble kid, and man, he could knock it down on the court. And he just the way he was so appreciative of what we do, and just loved to play and the experience of being out there. Sometimes it didn't go his way, sometimes it did, and he was a lights out shooter, but just an amazing kid, great guy to cover, great guy to get to know. One of my favorites. So great to see, continue to see that he's checking in and being a part of this. So awesome, love that guy.
Yeah, man, good stuff. USCB hoops wrapped it up today. The women still had a chance going into today to get into the Peach Belt tournament. They had to win at Augusta, which is the number 2 team in the league. They were right in it at halftime. Dogfight. It started getting away. They got down close to 20. Like I was kind of checked out, and then I looked up and it was a 5-point game in the last minute. They fought back in it and made them nervous at the end, but they fall 68-60. So they'll fall one game short of making the conference tournament. Had a heck of a run at the end. Guys gave Augusta hell again, 98-91 on the road. So they finished it on, kind of limp to the finish, but as far as wins and losses go, but they were competitive throughout. And, we've said it a number of times, but exceeded my expectations year one and couldn't be more excited for the future of USCB basketball. I think it's going to be unreal.
What an amazing experience. And I just saw those posters today that they made for all the workers for both the men's and women's team. Great gesture, but yeah, just awesome experience to be part of this inaugural season. And yeah, for me, I would echo the same thoughts. They blew past what my expectations were for this year, really from that opening game. And I mentioned that was one of my favorite memories, just seeing the way that gym was packed and to see the electricity in that room when, that women's team took the floor, and then when the guys team did, and all the dunks and all the, excitement and the electric plays that were a part of it. And it was something to behold. The way the guys team just put up triple digits every one of their first few games at home, and obviously that wasn't sustainable against some good Peach Belt teams. But man, getting that first win over Augusta at home, that was enormous. They let a couple games slip away, but that's what you expect in the first year. But we got to learn how to close out. We got to learn how to win games. But it's just crazy to see everybody. The transfer pool is certainly a factor, and I think there are a few things that can work for them in that process, and just to put themselves on the map, because I think they really did with how they started and how they continued to fight in the conference play. I think that will entice some more players to check this out. Ron Fidel is a high energy guy, great coach, and I think he's really gotten something special with this program. And certainly the wins, the record wasn't what he hoped it would be, but the process is off to a terrific start. And I just cannot be more proud of the way that he has handled the situation. They haven't even had a full year together, having to scramble, get the team situated, and just to really build that identity in such a short time, and to see how they've done. It's, like I said, it's been way exceeded even my highest expectations, and just give credit to everybody in that process that has contributed. And you look at that women's team, and their starting point guard didn't play. She was hurt.
Starting backcourt.
And the entire backcourt. And look what they still did. Yeah. They're one game away from the conference tournament and 4-game winning streak. And
the players that are coming back are far more well-rounded and complete players going into next year than they would have been otherwise had that not happened. Like, setback ain't nothing but a setup for a comeback, right?
Yep.
I think they're really set to be positioned to be really strong next year. She can go out and handpick a couple of pieces that she wants to plug into what she's got working there, where they're basically running Princeton and throwing a lot of zone at you. She knows what she wants to do, and she's handpicked some kids who fit it, and she's going to be able to go plug some holes. And then on the other side, they both have an identity now. Like the women kind of did, because it was Sharon Versup, and you knew what that was a known quantity. But now you know exactly what it looks like. And then the guys, like, nobody really knew what they were going to be. You knew they were going to be there. What Fidala was saying, they're going to be high energy. They're going to play fast, all that. But now people have seen it and
brand
and see. I think I'm really interested to see how he tackles the trail, because I think it's going to be really attractive for JUCO guys who like positionless basketball, where you just get out and go and go hard, get after it. And then I think you'll also get some D1 guys who feel like trapped in a system and that doesn't fit them and just want to get out and play. And so, I think he could land a couple of like, wow names in the portal and shake things up. But man, he's got a stable of young dudes who are bought in and playing hard and fit the mold. So I'm super excited about it.
I mean, one of the best in the conference.
Dude's unreal. I just can't wait to see what he looks like in 2 to 3 years, because he's phenomenal, and he is a worker. He's a student. You can tell. You can see him getting better at the things that he struggles with in real time. It's pretty impressive to see. But a little bit of a disappointing finish, but been a heck of a season of USCB basketball, and we'll look forward to next year in the Cove. I agree, Bracken. If he doesn't win Freshman of the Year, it's a joke. I don't know what the other freshmen look like as far as stats, but he was terrific. But let's do the Loco Booster Club, and then we'll do some shout outs and look ahead and call it a Saturday night. The Loco Booster Club helps make all this possible, and the Loco Booster Club consists of the Court Lifestyle Pros. Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Court want to help bring you home to Hilton Head Island. They're with Charter One Realty. Revive Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen would love to help out you or your friends with your postpartum issues. If you have a friend who is having a baby, get them a gift card to Revive Rehab. Eagle Creations, promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets. All you coaches, if you need uniforms or you need trophies, medals, awards, all those things for your postseason stuff, go over to Eagle Creations and tell them Loco sent you, and they'll get you set up, and we'll benefit as well. Everybody wins. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can always get some great conversation as well as a great style over at Jay's Barbershop in downtown Ridgeland. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Chris Odom will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you, and you will also thank him for the pleasantries, because that dude's as good as it gets. And Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. Go over to Belfair Town Village and see Max and the team if you want to get juiced up. That's the Loco Booster Club. Wes, who do you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, a lot of very wide range of options tonight, but I'll start with the young, amazing young lady that we get to talk to, and Alyssa Rose. I mean, you never know when your moment will come in a game like that, and obviously Coach talked to her about it could happen, and the point where it did. I mean, the game was on the line. I mean, if she doesn't make the play that she did, you just don't know what would happen after that. That was a huge momentous point in the season, and way to rise to challenge, and taking one for the team with the hit by pitch to end it. But great kid, really enjoyed talking to her. I wanted to give her a shout, but I gotta go with Addie Reynolds. She was the star of this game. Absolutely feasted at the plate. Tremendous swing, and that was someone who I said she's going to get. I said on the broadcast, I pointed her out because I felt like she was going to get going, and she certainly did. 3 for 3, double homer, 4 RBIs to lead the team. I mean,
that home run was ridiculous.
Yeah. Crushed.
She launched that thing, and then I saw the double and the single. The double, the left fielder almost made a terrific play on it. If it had been hit just a little bit less hard, she would have hung on to it. But that ball
from the press box, it's there's a part of left field that's cut off, so I couldn't see the full play.
I could barely see it. I was up on the fence, and the left fielder actually got her glove around it, but it was hit hard enough that it kind of went through the web and out, and she almost caught it. It was almost a heck of a play. And then the single, if I recall correctly, was a 2-strike line drive through the right side where she just went with the pitch. Great piece of hitting with 2 strikes.
That was outstanding. Yeah, I mean, great to see her put it all together because someone who has, maybe a slower start than she could have wanted, but man, that changes in one game when you get hot like that and you get that first homer. That does wonders for you. So wouldn't be surprised if she starts raking pretty soon for that USCB team. So a tremendous catcher. I remember when she really got fired that freshman year, and she quickly turned into a special piece in that lineup, and now she's starting to find it again. So great to see that for Addie. I'm going to find a guy to shout out since I already picked a few ladies. I'll go Zach Sellers from Hilton Head and Noah Wasserman from May River picking up some gold medals at the Low Country Invitational. Great to see. I'm not too familiar with some of these guys, although Noah Wasserman, a multi-sport athlete that I've gotten to know well. But Zach Sellers, awesome stuff against a loaded field. Got like 25 schools in there.
He won the 400 and he was third in the 200. So really, really solid day for him. Those are fast times too. That's a fast dude.
49.43 for 400. Yeah, that's fine. Wow.
Yeah. He's getting around it. I'll shout out Hudson Mullen, Beaufort baseball. Nice day for him. He had just the one hit in game one, but it was a huge one, 2-run single to tie it in the 7th, and they end up winning 5-4. And then game 2, he went 1 for 3 with a double, and he went 4 on the mound, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, hit a batter, 6 Ks. He's terrific defensive catcher and great bat, and looks like he's going to be a weapon on the mound for Beaufort this season as well. I think he's poised for a big year. He started out playing football and then stepped away, and I guess maybe that had to do with focusing on baseball. So I would expect him to come out swinging, and I think Pops is coaching him too. Adam Mullen on the bench over there at Beaufort. So that's a fun dynamic. It can go either way sometimes. I've been there. Sometimes it can. You need somebody else's voice in there, but I'm sure they've been doing it together long enough. They ought to have it on lockdown. And then I'm going to shout out one of these track girls, Izelle Antia, obviously shout out worthy. She wins the 800 for Beaufort at the Wood, and also places second in the 1600. And she was 8th in the 400 hurdles. And I think she was on their relay team. She was on their 4x8 relay that placed 8th as well. So heck of a day for Izelle and Tia. She is a terrific talent on the track. That should do it for shout out. And shout out to HHCA boys lacrosse as well. First 2 wins in program history. Good stuff right there. So what's up next, Wes? We'll take tomorrow night we'll have Sand Shark Rewind, and we're looking for sponsors for Loco FC. We'd love to get that going. So let's get that going. But you'll be out at the Shark Park tomorrow?
Yeah, we got a doubleheader, so 2 more. Hopefully they will live up to what we saw in that classic today, 11-10. So we'll see if some of these guys these ladies can keep the bats going and deliver another. I mean, getting that first one is huge. Now you got that confidence, you got that energy back. Just if you can just take 1 out of 2, that's huge. Winning the series at home, and if you take the first one, then you're 1 game away from the sweep. So you got to take it 1 game at a time, and exciting stuff over there, and really fun softball team. A lot of fun lacrosse teams around here too, but the softball squad, electric, and the way that they've improved, just hitting as a whole. And Cody Yeski's done a great job that over these past few seasons, but they're really starting to find out. And then the new additions like Goodwin and Mariah Stevens that brought new energy, and Tamai Whitlock and Sari Simmons.
Yeah, I liked them. They bring some real speed and slappers. They just get the ball on the ground, make things happen. And most of the time, you put the pressure on the defense, they're going to make a mistake, and you're going to be able to feast.
And we also got rare high school baseball on Sunday.
They got rained out today down in Sea Pines. So they're doing a triple header, actually. Norfolk Academy and Scholars Guild Academy play first at 10 a.m. And then it's Norfolk against Hilton Head Prep, and then Scholars Guild against Hilton Head Prep. So, if you're down in Sea Pines and you want to check out some high school baseball, you got a triple header happening down at Hilton Head Prep. And Prep's got a good squad, and they usually bring in some pretty solid prep school opponents. So I would think it'd be good baseball over there tomorrow. And if that's your backup plan, if you can't get to Shark Park, or you can pull it up on the Sand Shark Game Day Network and see what Wes and them are talking about.
Hopefully USCB baseball can, find a way to build. I mean, obviously, a tough one overall to start off the series, but 2 more games, see what they can do, and keep getting better and find a way to stay in as long as you can and make it competitive into the last few innings. Then you never know what can happen. So see what they can do. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'll probably, if I don't see you at the Shark Park, I'll be watching you online. But should be a beautiful day tomorrow in the Low Country. Hopefully the rain stays away and it warms up a little bit. And good day to get out and check out some baseball and softball. We'll be back tomorrow night, Sand Shark Rewind, and then we'll come at you Monday night with the LowcoSports Lowdown. We'll have plenty to talk about then, including the Low Country Invitational Golf Tournament, as well as the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate on the island. And we got all kinds of other baseball, softball, lacrosse happening around the Loco. So we'll keep you posted, but that's going to do it for tonight. For Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks so much to Alyssa Rose for joining us, as well as our sponsors and everybody who showed up to listen or watch. Till next time, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!